Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Settle It on the Screen, January 23rd.
Back, baby.
23rd, 2015.
23rd.
I'm Michael Soroka, along here with Nick Houselander. Many of you who tuned into us on another channel, thank you for joining us. We know you went back to watch the NFL football players try to drain some batteries. Along with us is Glenn Updike. He's actually in Twin Galaxies, oops, wrong way, 2.
Yeah.
He's playing Mega Man. He's going to try to, is it 2? I can't see
Mega Man 2.
I can't see it from here.
Yeah,
all right.
2?
2? Okay.
Yeah. Mega Man 2 in box 2.
Yeah, in box 2. So if you want to see his gameplay, which is exceptional most of the time, I'm not guaranteeing it, but you can click on him and watch him full screen and still listen to our voices. So,
yep.
So, and Settle It on the Screen is basically here to talk about the Twin Galaxies Scoreboard, the competitive nature of high score chasing, speed runs, and basically the whole community of doing that. So we got some world records to announce again.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's we can't talk about CDI, even though we should still have a CDI episode.
Yeah,
so, it's kind of no CDI tracking.
No.
Well,
there isn't any scores.
No, I think there is CDI tracking.
But is there scores?
There are scores for CDI games.
Yeah, there is CDI.
New scores?
But we wanted Glenn to play CDI and talk about CDI for a whole episode.
That would be kind of...
We got world records.
That's the goal right now.
To talk about.
I got to speed run Berenstein Bears, man. That's going to happen.
Do it! You have to do it live on the air.
So for those of you just joining us tonight who may have never been to the Twin Galaxies Twitch channel or just heard of Twin Galaxies, basically it's the place where you can set a video game world record. So go to twingalaxies.com, compare yourself, see all the scores. You've probably heard of King of Kong, maybe. But any video game in the past...
At this point, hearing of King of Kong isn't as obvious as it used to be. Actually.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially with the younger crowd. They're always going,
what's that? What's that?
You get a lot of, I've heard of that. When you're like, you haven't. Just don't say you have.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't watched it yet. Then I'm like, then don't say it.
And basically, Twin Galaxies has been the organization tracking world records for video games, and Guinness does recognize...
Since 81, right?
Yes, since 81, yeah. And Guinness does recognize, the scores that Twin Galaxies basically verifies. So that's what we're here to do. Let's promote the champions. Should we get on with it, Glenn, or do you have anything else? Should we wait on the world records? You got some news?
We'll touch on that after the world records.
Okay. I do have one piece of news that has nothing to do with the Twin Galaxies Scoreboard. That is just more of a personal thing about gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Nick brought it up to me in a text message earlier this week. X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter is available on Windows 7 and 8 for $10 at Good Old Games.
Yep.
So now you can play that game.
One of the greatest multiplayer games ever.
The best multiplayer flight sim of all time.
Yeah, maybe ever. Yeah, I've never played a better one.
I've been wishing PlayStation or Xbox would release an HD version of it, but...
It's been probably 15 years since I played it.
It's just as good.
It is. I've never played even anything close to as good as that.
No, it's just...
It's so awesome.
So awesome. I can't wait for this show to be over, because that's what I'm going to go do.
Oh, hell yes.
Except stay tuned to Jace Hall. Settle it on the screen. Or
you know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's awesome. So for those of you, I know some of you in the community love Descent. That came out a few months ago. All these old DOS, they were DOS/Windows 95 games.
Yeah.
They're getting re-released, so they run perfect. You don't have to run them in DOS box. It's really cool time for old PC gaming.
Oh yeah, and there were so many great games. And unlike the console games, once the computers went out of style or once the computers got replaced, you couldn't play them again.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's been a long time.
Now you can, but
it's not as easy as this though.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not as easy as hooking up a Nintendo to a television and putting a game in.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time did I spend revamping an old laptop to play Duke Nukem the correct way? So, Which,
Might
whatever. It was
Magic
totally
6.
worth it. Yeah, it was totally worth it. But the Xbox version is just not as good.
No.
It's not like even actually as close. The DOS box was pretty damn close, though.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see a difference. But anyways, let's get to the score.
Let's get to the scores, because that's all you guys are tuned in for.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations to Tyler Van Der Zwag of Pensacola, Florida, USA.
USA.
Brand new. He actually had a few world records this week, but we're
Yep.
just going to leave it one per person every week. On the SNES, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, Alley Cat Blues, fastest completion of that level, 43.66 seconds. As you can see there's the congratulations on the screen from the screenshot. Congratulations to him. And I want to say congratulations to Tyler in the first place, because I think that's his first world record.
Oh,
Twin
man.
Galaxies Scoreboard.
We gotta come up with a sound effect or something
I'm not
for
quite
that.
sure on that, but we'll see.
He gives himself the thumbs up, so maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Charles Zeiss from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, America. Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive.
Huh?
Huh? What?
That's my fault.
Yeah, okay. So what one do you think it is? That's definitely
well, it's
Sega
the same
Genesis.
thing, but
So,
I just copied and pasted from
Okay,
the Twin
so
Galaxies database.
Sega
Yeah.
Genesis, Sonic and Knuckles, fastest full completion. I assume he played as Knuckles.
Yeah, that's
Is that 32 minutes, 11 seconds?
Yep.
Damn. That's really good. Sorry, that's really good, man. I played that game before, and I sucked bad. So,
You know, that's the one game I do not own of Sonic. Yeah.
I've
Glenn
only
doesn't.
played it a handful of times. It was hard as hell. It was like Sonic 3 hard.
Well, it's pretty much the same. It's
No,
the
I
same
know,
game,
it's
but
brutal.
It's still brutal. Yeah. All right, Glenn, you gonna take the next one once I give it to you?
can barely see the screen.
Oh, you
It's
can barely
a really
see it now?
small window
Okay.
in Skype.
Oh, I'll keep going here. Congratulations to Rob Ross for a
Double R.
double R
Double
for
R.
a world record on Super Sprint for the arcade. It's a really cool game. I love it. I remember
That
playing
was a
it.
fun one to watch.
It's
too.
a fun one. Yeah, if you guys can go
Cup too, man. What's that cup?
go to the Twin Galaxies database, search Super Sprint. Sorry, Nick's making me laugh here. And go ahead and check out the video. It looks like such a fun game to play. And then, of course, playing it multiplayer against other people is great. But as a single-player score, it's really fun to watch. 30,770 points. Done at Fun Spot as well. Congratulations, Mr. Ross.
Sean Vincent, Sacramento, California, America. Nintendo 64, Bust a Move 99. One of Mike's favorite games. Arcade mode, 21,869,320. Fantastic score. Do you think you can beat that, Mike?
21 million.
21 mil? Almost 22 mil?
I watched it and I verified the score.
Uh-huh.
There's a chance I could probably go for it, but I don't own the game, so I mean, I'd have to borrow it or find it first. But the way he played was very strategic, like I would play. So he might have got the right bounces. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. With 21 million on, that's a pretty darn good score.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's not the same
That's
version.
awesome.
Most of us
no, I know that.
are familiar.
No, I
with,
remember
but,
that one. A buddy of ours had
but
it.
it's just the new levels of that game. So.
No, that's sweet, man. Nice going, Sean.
All right. Congratulations to Phil Timmons of Dayton, Ohio. New world record on Ice Climber for the NES. 1,614,000 points.
It's a hard game.
He rolled the score. That is a hard game. I was watching the end, too. He could push it a little bit further, but I was like,
Really?
oh, man, yeah.
think
Did you watch that one? What was that, Glenn?
He's trying to push it further. I know that.
Excellent.
You any good at that game, Glenn?
I used to be. There was a time where I played it just to see how far I could get, and then after I got to a certain point, I'm like, nah, I don't want to get back into that. It's kind of a frustrating game.
Yeah,
looks
that's why.
frustrating.
Yeah, I always thought it was quite frustrating. That's why I give him even more credit, because if you can get past the frustration of that game, that's fantastic. So
That jumping mechanic, ugh.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. Daniel, what do you think?
Pereira.
Oh yeah, Daniel
We-
Pereira of Oxford. Is that Mississippi?
It is Mississippi.
I'm so good. Yeah.
If you go back about 3 years ago.
I remember we used to do his scores all the time. I've been screwing up your name for 5 years. Daniel Pereira of Oxford, Mississippi. Game Boy Advance, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival points. TGTS 697,500 points. Congratulations, and awesome profile pick, by the way. That's
he gave me 2 choices. So.
You chose the right one.
I think I chose the right one.
I like the cage in the background. Like, is he at the batting cage?
No, he's at some like
is it whirly ball?
UFC.
Oh, really?
He's like in the ring or something like that. There's an advertisement.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool picture.
No, that's sweet. I like it.
Almost as cool as this world record.
Oh yeah, almost. Yes!
Stephen Boyer and Stephen Kleislath again. We've talked about it before. We know they did it, but now it's officially verified.
Kleislath.
The Stephen brothers arcade world record 2-player team 1,186,090 points with the POW. You can use the POW on this setting. So now,
this is POW. This is Pro POW.
Yeah.
Double P.
Yep, double P.
PP.
So congratulations to them. It's officially verified.
All right. Mark Cohen, Las Vegas, Nevada. Atari 2600. Super Breakouts. Game 5, difficulty B, 6,696 points. And you see him there with
Dabo,
Suitbo, with Walter Day. But congratulations, Mark. Another one we used to read we've read his name.
We read it last week.
Yeah. I remember you, Mark.
He made the cut because we were trying not to read we're only reading so many, but he's like, this one's going in there. He had
that's a good one though, man. And that's a great game too.
That's a fun game.
I just don't get sick of playing Super Breakout.
No, it's something you can't get sick of.
No, not possible.
Congratulations to the King of Kong, Robbie Lakeman from Banning, California, USA. Yeah, this is the first time the King of Kong has another world record.
Nice.
Since Billy Mitchell, I believe. Hey. I mean, Steve Wiebe did at one point, but Hank Chen, I don't believe he had another world record for his time on the top. And Wiebe, well, I don't know if he had both at the same. I never thought he had both at the same time, Junior. This is really cool to see, just because it's like, okay, King of Kong plays something else, and he has another world record too. Well, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
A marathon world record on Super Pac-Man Arcade, 12,111,640 points. Awesome.
How long do you think do you know how long it was?
What was it? I think it was
15 hours.
Oh my god,
yeah, something like that. I didn't verify it.
That's crazy, man.
You guys did at home. Dang. But yeah, he did it at Fun Spot as well, I believe. But congratulations to him. That's awesome.
Bob Johnson, Arcade Space Zap points, 254,500 points. Congratulations, Bob. I've actually never played this game. No, you were saying
Wisconsinite.
All right.
Oh yeah, I was looking for his location.
USA.
I couldn't find it. He has it hidden very well.
Well,
but it was a really cool record to watch because obviously it was done in 2011.
Way back in 2011.
Yeah,
damn, I don't even remember that.
And it's fun. See, this is why I like the. I mean, we could get into this again. We've went into it before, but granted, it's an arcade game, so it can't be direct capture. But just getting people's reactions makes it fun to, do some adjudicating because you get to see the reaction of these gamers. And the people recording too. I think his friend was pretty geeked. Pretty geeked.
He was geeked.
This just came across my desk. Congratulations to John Pompa from Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania, USA. New world record on the TI-99. That's what's so cool about this record.
Now, this is a calculator or not a calculator?
It's a computer, right, Glenn?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a computer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I had a TI-88.
Yeah, the sound on it is just...
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
rad.
great. Ooh, I'm at the start of the VHS recording
again.
Well,
I might get sued for doing that, actually.
That's actually there's 3 things Bill Cosby's known for. One is Jell-O pudding, and the other one's TI-99, and the other one you can find out about in the news.
Those huge pills.
Congratulations to John with a score of 28,450 points. It's really cool to see some of these games and stuff like this being played. I love this. Like, Channel F needs to get in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's the best system
And this
ever.
one I just find lovely.
Ooh. Craig Gallant, son of Gerard, possibly?
Yes.
Charlottetown, PE, Canada. All right, first one. Not in America. All right. Now it makes sense why USA was behind all of them.
Yeah, I started putting that in.
No, that's good. Xbox 360 Live Arcade, Geometry Wars, great game. Retro Evolve 2, Pacifism points, 249,772,725 points. Nice score, Craig. That is a great game. I mean, really kind of a mind F game, really, if you first watch it.
Yeah.
And you really have to, it is one of those games you have to like completely be zoned into.
Yeah.
At least that's how it works for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great. It's like people compare it to Robotron.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the newer arcade games that we play on the new systems, and it is awesome. It was awesome to watch this run. I bet that will be pushed further. I hope somebody pushes him further because I know he can go further as well.
You know, and honestly, that was like one of the first games that I ever saw shown in like full 1080p, like full use of colors. And even though it is a pretty simplistic type game, the colors on it are they're crazy. I remember when that was probably 7 8 years.
I love
ago,
that to be my screensaver
awesome
on my computer.
But nice score, man.
So congratulations. Of course, there are more world records out there. You know, I think it's about 38, 39 that got verified this week. So we try to. Some of them are doubles, or you know. I know the Turtles in Time. There's another one too. So, we're going to read them sparingly and try to bring everybody into the mix, but limit it to a certain point. Because of course you can see all the verified scores on the Twin Galaxies website. Just go to adjudication, and you can see that's all that's being verified in the world of Twin Galaxies.
You know, a question we never asked in the old show, when we would interview Hank Chen.
We're going to start interviewing people again.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
But when we interviewed Hank Chen a couple times, we never asked him if he tried to beat his records with surgery. You're like, oh man, I did that last one in 47 minutes. I wonder if I can do it in 41 minutes. So you think he ever tried that?
I don't think the board would be real pleased with that.
I mean, it seems like he'd come back and be like, good news, it went well, 8 minutes quicker than Dan last week. And they'd be like,
speed run.
Great. Speed run, yes.
Speed run on breast implants.
Yeah, exactly.
Hank Chen, 34 minutes and 26 seconds.
I mean, I was just thinking that. You said he hadn't done another game other than Donkey Kong. I'm like, well, yeah, but if he
plays
did
a game every
job,
day.
that's even better, man. That's real life.
Actually, we're watching the chat right now. If you are a recent record holder, and you got something to say, or if you want to talk about your run, feel free to join into the Skype conversation. We'll talk about a few other subjects today, maybe, but feel free to call in if you want to talk about your own subject. Yeah. So please get on Skype. You got to have a webcam. We got to see your faces. We just don't want to hear the audio. And so go ahead, please call. Obviously, it looks like all of them are open, 3 through 8. So if you want to give us a call, you got your own subject you want to talk about. This is a free open show. So don't. And we have definitely questions to ask of the world records. Just to be honest, we haven't had time to prepare since Twin Galaxies has been back on board. Because I haven't even submitted much. I was excited to start submitting more, but I unfortunately don't have the time anymore.
It's been a busy month, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
There's no such thing as that January lull anymore.
Yeah.
But so, what were some of the subjects we were about to bring up? And then remember what happened.
Do you got one, Glenn, or do you want me to just start with one?
Well, that recent blog post about cleaning up the scoreboard, that's a good subject.
Okay, let's do it.
Good. Get your brooms out, ladies and gentlemen.
Call in if you want. Argue with us.
Prepare to call shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Pac-Man83.
That's actually a really good subject because I feel like there are some things that need to be cleaned up, and he did mention some of them, like the Guitar Heroes records.
Yes.
Obviously,
Mike knows nothing of that.
I've been arguing that for the past 5 years, but no one listens to me.
Yeah, and how many Guitar Hero records do you own, Mike?
They're well,
a lot.
See, this is
more than
where
1,000.
Me and Glenn get in the discussion. Is it really a world record? Now, some of the scores I do have I know they're the highest that they can get, or their max out scores. But I've seen other gamers, and obviously the leaderboards aren't all hacked.
Yeah.
That there's some of the scores I have in the Twin Galaxies database for Guitar Hero and Rock Band especially. I'm definitely not #1 in the world.
Okay.
They just haven't submitted to Twin Galaxies. But what I would like Twin Galaxies to do, and this is where it comes down to dilution, record dilution of the Twin Galaxies database. My example would be the Guitar Hero games, the Gran Turismo games, the Mario Karts. They have all these separate tracks. They have 20 to 30 to 40, or Rock Band has, well, if we just do expert only, it's about 300 tracks. If we include all difficulties, it's 1,200 tracks.
Just do expert only.
Well, that's what the blog talks about. We should only be doing the highest skill level.
Or the lowest. I'm just being
I
dick.
know.
No, I actually
I know
agree
you
with
are.
you. Since I'm just going against myself.
I don't. When I look at the score, when I always looked at Twin Galaxies, I always looked at who's the best at this one game. So when I look at a Mario Kart record, well, yes, if you're the fastest on Rainbow Road, yeah, you're pretty damn good. But if that's your only one you're fast at, or that's the only one you're in first place in, you're not really the best at Mario Kart. That might be the last track in the game. You know, that might be the most fun or the most challenging. I don't think it's really the most challenging course.
I don't even think it's that much fun.
It's not even that much fun unless you get the jump perfect.
Kind of a pain in the butt, to tell you the truth.
And this is something maybe Jace will do, is combine the tracks and create a leaderboard within the game. Like not add the times to. Well, actually, with a racing game, you could add the times together.
Yeah.
And whoever has the lowest time amongst all the tracks is officially the world record holder on Mario Kart 7. Kind of make it, they're the world record holder. Now, you might be the world record holder on one track.
Yeah.
But when I always go to Twin Galaxies, I just want to know who's the world record holder on one game. You know. But that's just
collective points. It's almost like its own tournament unto itself.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what I would hope for the future integration of the website.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
No, I mean, obviously, Twin Galaxies hasn't done something like that in the past.
Yeah.
But I'm all for them. Always for a collective.
Yeah.
I'm never for just piecemeal scores. I'm a huge fan of taking everything, piecing it apart, and then kind of averaging it, and then who's the best overall. Because if you're good at like one aspect, like we always have talked about in our own tournaments we've always set up, I'm like, if you're great at Halo, that's cool. If you're great at Madden, well, that's cool. But are you also good at like 47 other games?
Yeah.
Because if you're only good at 2 games and you're crappy at 47 games, you're not that good at video games.
Yeah.
Really. Overall.
It comes to overall video game.
Yeah, you got to be good at everything.
But you
don't have to be. It's up to you. But I'm just saying, whatever. Yeah. That's always the argument we've always had with people.
So I mean, I know that
it's not right or wrong. It's just
that's kind of where we weren't starting, Glenn. But what else were you talking? I kind of went on a tangent again.
No, not you.
Well, both of us.
I know.
The guy that made the blog post brought up some interesting points, too. One of the other ones was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And how so many people submitted for a Glass Joe time at like 42 seconds. And I agree that there should be a tracking just like overall time for the game. But a game like that, I kind of disagree on separate...
I'm just kidding.
Like, combining all the tracks, because you never know if somebody will find out a glitch or whatever that can be done faster.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm not saying get rid of the individual tracks.
No.
Just have a leaderboard for the one game that has many tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how many guys do you fight in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Is it 8?
There's quite a few. Well, you fight some of them multiple times.
Well, whatever. I mean, you can still have the record for each of those specific fights.
Yeah.
And then you have the leader of who is winning all those fights. And then overall, you would factor in those scores. And if you never played a certain fighter, your score for that one would be 0. So it would kind of get you to play the whole game again. Yeah. Obviously, me and Mike also know that a lot of people won't be for this. This is not a lot of people's cup of tea. I don't think.
I think a lot of people would. A lot of people remember the old Twin Galaxies where we had specific rankings. Well, there was this thing called who could have the most world records.
Yeah.
And that's where these games,
easily won that, obviously.
Well, that's where this individual track system...
It makes it easier to get
made it... I don't want to say, you play a bunch of short, like Gran Turismo. You can play Gran Turismo. Oh, you drive 4 seconds. And a world record counts as one world record. Or you can play Donkey Kong for 2.5 hours and it counts as one world record.
Yeah.
That's where I think it would be cool to kind of have a collective leaderboard that would determine the whole game world record hold, or the champion of the whole game when it comes to specific games.
Yeah.
For example, Life Force, no. It's there's obviously only one track. Or Donkey Kong, or the arcade machines, there's still only one track. But these games where we have so many individual stages, and if we're not playing them in a constant speed run, well, then it's kind of like,
I'm glad you brought that up. We're not saying, Life Force is a good one. We're not saying that we want to piecemeal every game.
Yeah.
So we're not saying Life Force, who can beat, what's the highest score for level 1? Okay, what's the highest score? That's not what we're talking about.
No.
It's for specific games.
Yeah. For the ones that have been tracked that way in the past.
Yeah. We're not talking about breaking every single video game apart. That I am agreeing with people that would be really stupid. Yeah. And that would just completely screw up the scoreboard.
Oh, God.
I can't even imagine what that would do to the scoreboard. Do not even tempt that idea.
I'm joking.
That's horrible. But no, it's just for games like that. Yeah. And a lot of racing games too.
No, really, it is. It's racing games, for Guitar Hero games, and then maybe some games that have a lot of separate mini games. Yeah. Like I think we read in Frou Park, or so. I can't say.
Maybe Mario Party, like a game like that too.
Are those well?
Yeah, because there's just a bunch of different games.
Well, see, this goes back to like Super Smash Brothers in the Twin Galaxies web database. There's Super Smash Level 1 for Sonic. Super Smash Level 1 speed run.
Really?
Yeah, and that kind of, it's fun to compete for those single ones, but when I look at Super Smash Brothers world records, I look at who can do the run with the highest amount of points. Yeah. The other ones, I'm kind of just like...
That's tough, though. Now, that one, I don't know that I agree. There might be ones that you just leave alone, too. Because there's so many variations in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
How many different ways would you have to play that game?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like Star Wars Chess for Sega CD. Great. So you're going to have to play as every character?
You are every character, aren't you?
I don't remember. It's been forever since
That's why be glad this guy doesn't vote on your submission.
I thought you picked your guy. I thought you were like C-3PO or R2-D2 and you always played against like a bad guy or something.
I think so, but then when you get into the game, it's
there's characters that are...
Okay, I don't know.
It's been
maybe we'll fire it up next week. We'll play some chess.
Yeah.
You and me, it'll be the stupidest game.
Oh my God. I have a chance of winning. And so do you. I mean, we're equally crappy at that game. So.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about he had his in his article as well, Glenn, eliminate platform duplicates?
That's a touchy subject. It really is, because even though you're playing on Virtual Console, there are some games that aren't emulated properly that are completely different.
So are you saying that since they are completely different that they should be included? Or
I think so.
Okay, that's what I was. Or are you thinking the opposite way, where, well, since it isn't true, we should just
think
not bother.
That the goal of TG is to bring competition to anything and everything. And let's face it, man, Nintendo games are getting harder and harder and harder to get. They're getting ridiculous in prices.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier just to go onto the Wii store or whatever it is and just pick up, Legend of Zelda for like $5.
It's a little bit more fun.
Yeah. I mean, as you can see, like, there's been a lot of Virtual Console games getting verified in the past couple of weeks. It's because it's easy to access, easy to get.
Mm-hmm. And it's
And
still
it brings
fun
more
too.
competition.
Yeah, I never owned an NES when I was younger, so I mean I have them now from garage sales and friends. But in terms of like Bubble Bobble, I know Bubble Bobble was one of my favorite games, but what is it, like $50 on eBay or something like that?
Wow.
Am I
bought
wrong?
mine like a couple years ago for $20.
Okay, but isn't it like hard to get because everybody wants to keep theirs?
I was gonna say it's not like that was a hard game to get back then. That was a very plentiful game.
But I know I go to all the
people don't want to give it up because it's a good game.
No, it makes sense.
So for
I
me,
don't want to give up my copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly my point. So for me, who never had an NES, what's the best way for me to get one?
Virtual console.
Exactly.
For $5.
So then I'm pushed out of the competition because I wasn't fortunate. Well, whatever. I mean. But if I really want the world record or game, I should pay for it. That's a different subject we talked about weeks ago.
Maybe bring up.
But this is something that I've been trying to push for, and that is the use of flashcards for the consoles. You know what I'm talking about with like EverDrives and stuff like that.
Just save your stages and stuff like that.
No, what it is it's like the NES EverDrive. It's an actual NES card that comes with an SD card, and you can put the ROMs in the SD card, and you're using actual hardware to play the games.
Okay, so
they're about $80 to get, and you would have the entire NES library on your NES.
So my question is, because I'll play devil's advocate, what about me changing the ROM, then loading it into that card?
Now, I've thought about that too, but you'll have people out there that can clearly tell if the ROM's changed.
Okay.
And one thing I would make for a rule is, if you're going to play a game on one of those, that you can only have the one ROM uploaded into the cart. You can't have like 200 ROMs on your cart when you go for that record. Just have the one ROM on the cart.
Okay.
And there's a way to verify?
I'm pretty sure there would.
Show it.
Yeah.
Non-cutting it. I guess.
Yeah, I would say get rid of direct. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, I guess.
Yeah, but there's ways to prove it, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Not just as like a digital information-wise, like just showing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the card. Look,
if somebody like alters the ROM on like Super Mario Brothers 3, people are going to be able to tell right away.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's one of those. If you picked an obscure game that nobody knows about, I guess that's probably where to get into harder territory. But yeah, if it's a game like Mario, any of the Mario Brothers games, people are going to know immediately.
Yeah.
So,
but who wants? This is another thing. Who wants to pay $300 for a little Samsung cart so they can compete on it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to? I'm not.
No. Yeah, and maybe one person will.
And that's where you get into the point. Well, whoever has the most money can have all the records because they can afford paying $300 for a cart. So
no, you're right.
You're right.
But I think these are problems that we'll probably run into
eventually.
We're still, we're running into them now, but 10 years down the road, I'm sure it'll probably become even a bigger issue. But it's a good idea to probably talk about them now.
Yeah.
So, but it's the problem with the old stuff.
We'll go back to that subject: platform duplicates. Okay, so I understand. In his article, he said Ninja Gaiden and then Ninja Gaiden on VC. Yeah, I get that. It's NES. You're on Nintendo product. You're on a Nintendo product.
Yeah.
Actually, I plan to fire up the old Xbox here shortly.
The old Xbox.
Xbox 360.
The original Xbox?
The original Xbox 360.
Oh, come on.
And play some Namco Museum.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now, in the Twin Galaxies database, there is Pac-Man for the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Xbox 360,
that's the best
PlayStation
version.
2, PlayStation 3. And if things go how they are, PlayStation 4.
100.
Do we really? I mean, obviously, we don't stop. Well, I don't know. The community would probably not close those off or grandfather them close. But let's say PlayStation 4. Do we does the community, or just Jace, I guess, at this point, because we don't know how Twin Galaxies is going to be run for new games, do we put Namco Museum Pac-Man arcade version and track it for the PlayStation 4? I mean, I don't know. Anybody?
I don't know. I have no solution for it. That's one of those things, right?
It dilutes it. It really does dilute the scores. I mean,
I see where you're coming from.
but then it gives. But for example, I like playing Bosconian on here. The only way I could have played it was, well, I got a machine finally,
but it doesn't work.
It works for 12 minutes.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just so it doesn't work. If you want to make yourself run for the first level,
we should have a new tracking for Mike's Bosconian board.
You just come over here.
12 minutes. That's all you get.
12-minute limit. Whoever get the most points in 12 minutes.
I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah. That won't dilute the scoreboard at all.
What I would like, we'll use the PlayStation, Xbox 360, maybe PlayStation 2. The versions on, let's just use Galaga, for example. Galaga on those Namco museums, it is identical. I'm sorry.
The only difference I notice is the controller you use.
Yeah. So,
and I'm better with certain controllers.
And you're using a different controller, and you could buy a different controller. Yeah, I know you can use an Xbox controller in PlayStation 3 if you hooked it up right. Mm-hmm. Or you could buy an arcade stick like this and play it on both. Yeah, you know, so it's not... I think it would be nice if those were kind of, I guess, combined, if they were the exact same version. Yeah. Because it is already emulated. We're emulating it on a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So it's already, now obviously it's nowhere near how the arcade machines played.
It's like in its 10th iteration by the time it gets to Xbox.
Like Namco Museum on PlayStation 3 and Xbox should be the same category. For example...
What about 64? I mean, that's like
64 probably too. I mean, I'm not familiar with it.
It's perfect. That's the one I'm used to playing. That's one I probably played the most.
But the new one I want to bring up, somebody actually has a score for the Pinball Collection, Pinball Arcade. The Pinball Arcade, it's the same on all the systems. Wouldn't you agree or disagree with me, Glenn?
I would say it's the same on the consoles, not the same on the PC.
Okay, so and I feel that way about PC or Mac. If I play it on the Mac or the PC side, it's the same game. And then if I play, I remember playing the demo on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and it's the exact same game. So I would hope there'd be combine those tracks at that point, For example, Grand Theft Auto 5 speedrun should be the same Grand Theft Auto 5 speedrun on PlayStation 4. Well, I'm not going to go that far, I guess, because people are going to start talking about loading times. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think
if we could find an organized way to keep it down, but...
And I think all of this stuff will come with time.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this scoreboard has been open less than a month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good we're talking about all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But I just thought of one a second ago, and it might be really dumb, and I think I already know the answer to it, but...
that you're an idiot? No,
yeah,
I'm just joking.
I might be. A lot of people probably think that, but obviously the pinball games you're talking about, they're incredible ROMs of an actual pinball simulation. You know what I mean? It's hard to make a ROM of real life.
Yeah.
But but do you ever think that 30, 40 years from now, someone might say, those video games of the pinball machine, they're the exact same thing as playing a regular pinball. Do you think they'd ever say they'd, combine them? Like, real life with the video game ROM of a pinball game?
I think the pinball people, the purists, would say, I hope not.
Yeah, but, I mean, at that point, that's why I said, 40 years down the road. I mean, I guess it might be all purists.
I don't think so, because the pinball machines are still going to always be there.
Yeah, I guess it's just moving.
And one pinball machine... Gogar, this Gogar machine, this Gogar machine, and this Gogar machine are still completely different because the wear, the tilt isn't exactly, the warping of the wood.
I was going to say you could actually make an argument that the video ROM of the pinball game is actually more accurate than the real life game.
It is.
Because over time, things don't change.
None of the pinball games are identical the same. That's why, actually, to be honest, Walter... I asked this about Walter a long time ago, is, why don't you track pinball games? And Mike's like, Walter looked at me like I was an idiot. He's like, Because no pinball games are two the same. That's why we stopped doing it. Like, okay.
Sorry, Walter.
Sorry, Walter, for wasting your 12 seconds while you're eating your soup.
Delicious looking soup.
Oh God, he loves soup.
That's his favorite.
I wonder how much soup he had this weekend at the Arcade Expo.
Probably ate all the soup, for all we know.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the only thing he likes more than video games.
Actually, there's a lot of pictures of the Arcade Expo up on Facebook, and I have not seen a picture with him with soup.
What? At the end of Chasing Ghosts, you see it. You see him eating.
I know, but I'm talking about this past weekend.
Okay.
You know, there's more.
He hides it sometimes.
Yeah, but the amount of pictures of Walter from this weekend's event
and the amount of soup he consumed, it's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. That there is no pictures of him eating soup on Facebook.
No, you're right. Maybe they were photoshopped out. Yeah. I mean, maybe he's like, maybe there's like a lot of pictures of him like this, and there's nothing in his hands. But if you look at the real pictures, Campbell's here,
it's photoshopped.
Spoon. Yeah.
He asked for the soup to be.
Yeah, he's just like, people don't need to know I eat this much soup. Come on, guys.
Maybe we should Photoshop the soup back into the pictures for him.
That is. You know what? You're right, because that's accurate.
Do him a favor.
Yeah, we'll do him a favor. Exactly. He'd appreciate it. I know he would. Oh man. The subject just
Super Bowl.
Superman.
Oh.
So stupid.
So we touched that. We touched it with the 2 foot.
Oh yeah, another thing in that blog post. What do you do with max out scores?
You just keep them going, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I would like to see
come on top of each other.
TG track it like Retro Uprising. Where Retro Uprising, you can get a max out time or max out, but it doesn't matter. You have to have the fastest time for the max out to be on top of the leaderboard.
Just like the perfect Pac-Man score. Yes, everybody will always remember Billy Mitchell got the first perfect Pac-Man score, but there's new competition. Once that happened, it's the race to have and then it becomes fastest completion of the perfect score, which David Race is the world record for those of you who don't know. He's faster than Billy Mitchell, and a few other people are faster than Billy Mitchell. But there's a new competition for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you just changes.
Add a new track then.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I think it kind of just once the max out. I think it's an obvious. I think you could just answer the question, but. Once it maxes out, then it becomes something different.
Then we got to find a new way to push ourselves further.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it right there.
Because I was playing on Retro Uprising one night, and me and Ryan were playing back and forth on Super Bowling, and I got a 300, and I'm like, yes, I got the first 300-point game on Retro Uprising, so I'm going to keep this score forever, and I'm going to be on top. Well, Ryan beat me by like 2 minutes on a perfect 300, so when I log back in, I'm all like, why is Ryan on top? And then we found out, they track it by fastest completion.
So they already got it set up like that. That's pretty cool.
I wonder if the PBA has it set up like the quickest 300 game.
Actually, they should, because
that would be awesome.
Professional bowling gets so boring.
Oh, it's so. It takes
did you know the thing about adding more frames?
Okay, no.
No, they're serious.
Stupidest to know. That's so stupid.
They're thinking about making bowling longer.
What? I'm longer? I was hoping you'd say they'd make it 4 frames or something.
No, I read somewhere that the PBA wants to make it more interesting because...
That's not interesting. That's not more interesting.
Will people get drunk?
Yeah, I was going to say you could drink longer, I guess. Are they going to make alcohol mandatory like they should?
They should. And smoking mandatory. There needs to be a certain amount of smoke in the bowling alley before you can bowl.
Definitely. Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. You should have minimum 36 ounces of something, or maybe it's depending, 36 ounces of beer, maybe then like 18 ounces of wine, whatever you're drinking.
Whatever you're drinking.
You have to have a certain alcoholic, your certain breathalyzer. They'll do a breathalyzer before the game. And, whether you're smoking or enough people around you are smoking.
Yeah, you can be second.
You don't have to smoke, but you need to be inhaling smoke.
Yeah, you're at a bowling.
You're telling me that the PBA's thinking about doing like Amish rules, like in the movie Kingpin, where it's 15 frames?
15 frames.
Kind of.
Maybe. I saw it like 3 months ago. I have no idea.
You sure you just weren't watching Kingpin?
No. I was reading. I was watching some stupid Pete Weber thing, because he's crazy. He's the only thing to... Okay, that's enough about bowling.
was gonna say, we could easily talk about this.
Yeah.
That's bad news. Though, what I would be totally for in bowling is if they did the bowling on the Wii thing, where
they add pins every frame.
Exactly, 99 pins. That's the best part of that game. That's the best game on Wii. And the best part is watching the dun. It is next to Echo. It is the funniest video game ever made.
Funniest video game.
It's hard not to laugh hysterically every time you play that game.
Cool.
I think Echo needs a bowling game.
Echo Bowl.
Well,
But
what?
don't make it
Sonic
realistic.
had spin ball. Why can't Echo have bowling?
I mean, it makes sense because a dolphin lends itself so well to bowling.
It does.
How many appendages?
But I don't want to make it as realistic as possible. Just have a dolphin
The way
kind of flapping around, and then you just have to hit the ball.
No.
with the fin.
Where's the Echo?
Yeah, we got Echo pictures. Here's a couple
Going off
of them.
subject.
No, wait, it's the last.
Okay.
Yes.
We
We
have other stuff to talk about. Okay. So what I'm imagining is it's a first person, and then
Is he standing there like
Echo curls himself. He curls himself, so he holds the ball, and then he rolls himself to the edge of the lane, and then it comes off the back of his fin down the lane.
How is he rolling though?
He's rolling head over.
Oh!
Yeah, he's like doing a somersault over. This is the center point, and the ball's tucked underneath his fins, and he just spins.
Oh.
And then, of course, he gets to the end of the lane, and it comes out.
No. This is a legit question. Is it underwater?
Yes.
No,
And
it's
the
in
pins are
space.
actually. No,
It's
it's
in
underwater,
space.
man. But the pins are seahorses.
Oh. I honestly right now I'm actually kind of surprised this game was never made.
I
Dude,
know,
that would
at
be-
least for the 3DS or something.
That would be awesome.
Let's call Sega.
Yeah, no, we got to call Ed.
Yeah.
Ed Annunziata.
Yeah, he'll make
If you're
it.
watching the show, you got to make Echo bowling, underwater bowling, and then Echo space bowling. You got to start with underwater because then the sequel can be space bowling. Maybe space billiards.
Yeah.
Like it's Echo firing spaceships.
I think I look at him as a bowler.
Yeah, no, he kind of looks like a bowler. You could see him with sunglasses on, like Pete Weber.
I
Yeah.
want my $23 million for coming up with this idea.
Yeah, we
definitely
definitely
sound
need
like
$10,000 some
hotcakes.
money. Ed, we're going in with you on this one.
Oh God. Let's talk about the other thing. Just real quickly, we got the video. We'll play it in the background.
Oh yeah, let's watch it.
This guy, I don't know his name. I really don't care. He beat Super Mario World in like 6 minutes and 2 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it's
By using a glitch that Jeff Wilms found on emulator.
Yeah, one of the Twin Galaxy Donkey Kong competitors found this glitch. Now, is this really? I mean, I know it got buzz around the world, but it's like,
no, it's technically a record.
in my opinion, it's just like
I wouldn't say it's a very interesting record.
it's just
Because you're
it's
not
like, it's like what?
The amount of work that guy had to do just to get that glitch to be pulled off is absolutely crazy.
I was gonna say I can't even imagine how much time and effort he put into it because
he put
I mean
158 attempts before he got it.
and how he did it by looking into the code, right?
Jeff
somebody
Wilms looked into the code and found out
Yeah.
that if
Yeah,
you
not
do
the guy who
exact
wrote-
movements and place things in an exact place on an XY coordinates and do all this other crazy stuff, that you can warp right to the credits.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, because if you watch the video, it looks like he's just doing nonsensical things.
I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the speedruns with Super Mario World?
No.
Previously, there was a glitch that was found a couple years ago where you can manipulate the item box and get it so it has this glitch in the item box, and then when you grab that item, it'll warp you like right to Bowser. So that
Really?
used to be the old glitch run. Well, this guy figured out, hey, you can skip Bowser completely and just go right to the credits, which shaves off like 2 or 3 minutes, which is crazy. Jeff Wilms actually did that glitch that you're showing right now a minute faster.
Not on the console though, right?
No, on emulator.
Okay, emulator. Yeah.
With a keyboard, which is even crazier.
Yeah. No, that's I don't even know how anyone can even play the game on a keyboard. But yeah, this one was actually done on the Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's the first time that anybody's ever done it on a console.
So, I guess I'm asking you, Glenn. Should Twin Galaxies, if they're going to try to be the world leader of scoreboard, should they make tracks for glitch runs or what? I mean,
if they want to compete with SDA and SRL, then yeah, they're going to have to.
Okay.
The community is going to have to get together and decide what exactly they want to do with these speed runs. Because if you want the speed runs on Twin Galaxies to compete with any of those guys on SDA or SRL, you're going to have to get with the times.
When in Rome.
I just have no desire. I guess I just want to play the game.
Yeah, well, you know what? But that's fine, though. Then, I mean, you don't have to play it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to adjudicate that score if you don't want to.
But that's true, too. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm not interested in it, but I mean, I don't have a problem, care.
For true. Runs like that, SRL and SDA actually track it as a glitch %.
Yeah, there's still, it's called glitch, and
and they're just all speed runs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Like there's a bunch of different categories for Super Mario World speed runs. There's any %, 100%. There's all the dragon coins and glitch %. They have a ton of different categories. I mean, look at Super Metroid. There's like 10 different categories for it.
There's so many of them.
There's Spore Spawn Race, 100%, any %, GT Classic. The list goes on and on and on. And they're still making up new runs, which is great. It adds competition to it. And what I like about it is with Super Metroid, with all the different runs that you can do, you never get bored with it. Because it's like, what do I feel like today? Do I feel like an any % run, a GT Classic, GT Code?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it can add a new level to any game, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like what we always talk about, adding tracks,
Oh, yeah, no.
Does it dilute the record? I don't know. I just think if more people...
I think sometimes it dilutes it, but...
If there's enough interest in it, then it should be there. Like the Sonic the Hedgehog speed world record, I love the no glitch and the glitch one.
Yeah.
The glitch one's fun to watch, too. So.
Well, I think it's even as simple as... We jokingly make fun of Donkey Kong. We always have, because... Yeah. We've been talking about it nonstop ever since we started doing the show. It's that idea.
Yeah.
We're just sick of talking about it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
We don't have any problems with it.
No, it's great. It's awesome.
It's great. And obviously people love it, but it's the same thing where it's just like, we've talked about it ad nauseum for about 100 hours.
And destroy arcade cabinets.
Yeah, and we destroy the cabinets, obviously, and the motherboards. We light them on fire and all that stuff and sledge them. But other than that, it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, but if everyone else still likes it, well, then who cares what our opinion is?
Well, nobody cares what our
opinion is. No, thank God. Yeah, but
that's why they all watch the show.
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. You guys have about 1 minute left.
Okay,
1 minute.
Well, perfect timing. Well, thank you all for joining us. We'll be here next week. We'll definitely talk about some world records.
More world records?
More world records?
You think there'll be more?
Yeah, I
hopefully I'll get my road
glasses
in.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tonight, stay tuned. Jace Hall, the custodian of Twin Galaxies, is going to have his State of the Galaxies weekly show.
Please
probably
tune
talk
in.
About some of the stuff we've been speculating about,
definitely.
Maybe he's been watching the show, maybe he's not. It's like those idiots are talking still.
We have conjecture, he has answers.
Yes. So for my host, Glenn, less echo. For my host, Glenn, Nick, and myself, Mike Soroka, thanks for joining us. And we'll definitely see you next week. Get on the scoreboard, submit some world records.
See you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
See you, folks. Thanks for watching.